What an incredible crowd. Thank you all for being here tonight. This is really, really exciting. My name is Dr. Tracy Doyle, and I'm very fortunate to be the chair of the Department of Music here at Adams State College, and especially fortunate to be here for the dedication of the Richmond Recording Studio this evening. You know, I met Don and Terry when I moved to town about 7 years ago, and my first impression of them were that they were superheroes or superhuman, just larger-than-life people. And I so admired them from a distance, and over the years I've had an opportunity to get to know them. And in doing so, I realized that they're wonderfully ordinary people who do extraordinary things. Very excited to meet the rest of the Richmond family here today. I'm going to introduce a couple students who have a few words of thanks for the Richmond family. And I'd like to start by calling up Elliot Mickelson and Ian Walker.
Check 1, 2.
Wow, what a privilege. I was curious. I wanted to get a show of hands. How many of you actually are from out of the San Luis Valley?
Now or what?
Well, my reason being is that it never ceases to amaze me how much culture and how many stories find their way to this school. And I personally can't. I mean, to find this small little jewel in the middle of the high desert was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I see that with the people here today. And I feel that recorded music can be a testament of sharing that culture with people. When I got here freshman year, to even think about sitting in the basement of the AS building and be like, wow, a recording studio, blew my mind. But to have this gift, sincerely an incredible gift to the music department, is beyond my words. I have peers who were, graduated before they could really use this building to its fullest and what it is today. I know Antonio would have used that studio if only, and I certainly know that I plan to keep this in my heart and my prospects for the rest of my life. It's a big deal. It's a big opportunity for not just this department, but the campus as a community, the Alamosa as a community. Thank you.
Elliot's from Taos, right? Yeah, Taos. And I'm actually born and raised here. So growing up, my whole life, the Richmond name is kind of something you hear, around. And I can remember being really little, and thinking like, well, littler, and smaller even. Somewhere down there. And I can remember trying to think, I've heard the name Richmond somewhere, and I need to remember that name. I need to remember it because it's important. And I think one of my earliest memories is going to a wedding that you played at, and dancing with my mom, and she said, "Hey, you're not bad. You're not that bad." So good memories. My whole life attached to the Richmond name, and then got into the music program and started studying with Dr. Kaiches. I don't know if she's around. back there. And we were looking through dusty archives of music to find something that was less tonal that I enjoyed. And there was the Richmond name on that, in the bottom of some drawer full of music. And I thought, and I had not even known. I was in this incredible program, which again, was life-changing, getting to sing and getting to study this music. And there it was. There was the Richmond name stamped on that too. So it's just been an incredible legacy to be a part of it and to be in the Valley and grow up in that culture. My sister and I kind of joke that the Richmond, any of the hired hands CDs or anything like that, it sounds like home. It just sounds like here. And it's so true, and it's so neat to me to have that part of our culture in the San Luis Valley be something that is giving back and giving, again, this incredible recording studio that's we're all going to tinker with for until we leave, and then the people after us will tinker. But also a vocal scholarship. I think it goes a long way in adding legitimacy to what we do. A lot of people don't realize how many hours we put in to this building. On the tours, you saw all the soft spaces, and that's so we can take naps here and have comfortable places to eat. And it's just so great. We see football players who have full rides and get to be here. And it's just so neat to add the vocal major to that category of something that has a scholarship, a thing that you can go in and say, I'm a vocal student, I want that. I'm going to apply for that. And I know that there are a ton of us looking for it. So, again, just thank you so much for the legacy that you've left behind and are sharing with us in these incredible gifts.
Thank you, Elliot and Ian. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Dr. David Savaldi, President of Adams State College, who will name the recording studio and present the plaque.
First of all, thank you, Elliot and Ian. Very, very well said. And I always try to put my finger on what is so special about this place. And it is a special place with special people, many of whom are sitting out here in front of me. And it's the sense of community that we have. We may disagree. I mean, being president, people usually disagree on a lot of stuff. But in the end, we know that we're all in this together and that we're here for one purpose, which is to take care of our students and help them as they transform their lives and move them on down the road a little farther. I've always thought that our music department was the best music department in the state. And I have 2 degrees from UNC. They're just a little bit too proud for not that great a reason. And really, a student as a freshman can come to Adams State and have all kinds of opportunities right off the bat to perform, to sing, to play. And now they're going to have this opportunity for this wonderful recording studio. So I think it's appropriate this is at homecoming and that we have so many of the Richmond family back here for homecoming. It's appropriate for us to thank you all for this gift that's going to keep on giving. It's going to give to students and it's going to give on to many students after this. So just speaking on behalf of the college and the trustees and the faculty, just thank you so much. And I absolutely agree that Dawn and Terry are superhuman. So, having said that, I would like to present this plaque. And understand this is the mock-up. This isn't the real thing to Dawn Richmond. Great artist, great guy. And I never had the pleasure of meeting Edward. I arrived here a bit late, but he had to be a great person to have such a great friend. So, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Savaldi and Elliot and Ian and Tracy and everyone. I've always been kind of amazed at how much the music department has remained kind of part of my life and my heart, how much of my heart has been tied up in it. I was a student here very briefly, but it was from, you know, I used to come over here when I was in 5th and 6th grade because I took trumpet lessons from one of the hot rod upperclassmen trumpet players here, and you know, and of course sometimes I had to come over here to get something from Daddy or whatever, and it just sort of grew up here in a way, you know. It was always just there, you know. It was just like this kind of adjunct to our house, you know. The apartment's over here, you know, and it just kind of felt that way, and it has always felt that way to me, even over all these years since then. And of course, it never failed that the family would be all loaded up in our station wagon with the funny-looking masonite box strapped to the top of it, stuffed full of camping gear and everything else. And we would be heading off to Yellowstone National Park, and we got to go by the music building and sit there for 20 minutes while Daddy goes in and you know, takes care of all this stuff. He really loved his students. I mean, it just sort of oozed out all over. You could just tell it. He loved the act of teaching music. You know, you'd think, being the son of a vocal professor, that of course you must have taken lessons from him all your life, right? And says, oh no. It's not the way it works with you know, fathers and sons. It's like, no, you couldn't drag me in there. Actually, I didn't have that attitude. I would have been happy to do it. It's just that you just sort of never, you never get there. You kind of never cross that bridge until, actually, it was a couple of years before he died. He said to me, why don't you let me help you with your voice? Wow, what a great idea. That would be very cool. I thought that. And of course, I had all of my bad habits very firmly established by then. But still, it was great. It was great to get a direction in which to head, and learning how this instrument that is me, that is my body, operates, and how that affects the voice, and sort of like I said, a goal to shoot for, a place, a direction to head. And I really have to say, I think without a whole lot of bias, I'm sure there's quite a bit of bias in there, but he was the best teacher of voice. He was the best teacher of anything that I ever had. I mean, he was amazing. He had all these tricks to get you to do what you need to do, to let your voice be this conduit, you know, this open, flowing thing, you know. And boy, when he let it flow, man, it rattled the walls. He'd be there doing the dishes and but anyway, it's an amazing thing, the human voice, and he was a student of the human voice, and you know, it was very cool to see his dedication to it, and I just so appreciate this dedication, this ceremony, the whole the naming of the studio in his honor is just I almost can't think about it because I won't be able to talk. You know, I just so want to thank Dr. Doyle and Dr. Savaldi and everybody here at the music department. Thank you for following that elusive thread toward something fine, something gorgeous, something wonderful, something, those things that make life worth living, that we who are into music find through that, you know. And you know, God bless you one and all keep moving that direction. So just thank you so much. And I want to introduce one other family member who I think, probably knows a few things about keeping academic institutions happening and funded and scholarships and all of those sorts of things, like way more than I could probably conceive that there is to know. But my sister Marianne, Dr. Ann Rankin, she's has just stepped down from being the Dean of the College of Natural Sciences at the University of Texas and has taken a position as the President and CEO of the National Math and Science Initiative. Did I get that right? So, Marianne Rankin.
Well, Donnie just asked me to say a few words while I was, I don't know what, driving here or something. But I think that's because I'm unfortunately the oldest. So, oldest sibling. And I make a lot of speeches, so he thinks I can't sit in the audience without making a speech. But really, I want to say thank you very much. You know, Daddy would be so incredibly, I think, overwhelmed by this, and he would have been completely shocked, I think, that it was happening, because he never thought of himself as somebody that would have such an honor, I don't think. He only focused on his work, the task at hand, and his students. And Donnie's right. He absolutely loved his students, and he was a fabulous teacher. Now, from the perspective of all these many years and watching my own daughter, have voice lessons, I would sit and watch the teacher, a series of teachers actually, who were very good actually, but they couldn't touch Daddy. And I didn't even take lessons from him, but just hearing what he said about his students, or hearing once in a while him talking to his students, I know exactly what you're saying. He was extraordinary. Some people have the ability to just, I don't know, describe something or make you do something that gives you the insight that all of a sudden lets you do the right thing with your body. That's a very difficult kind of teaching. And it's a kind of coaching. It's like some people who teach sports must have to do, and the ones who are really good at it know how to do it really well. But he was very gifted. And you know, one memory I have, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell you about without crying, but, well, obviously I'm not. Just a minute. His students really loved him too. I remember at his funeral, we were all so devastated, and you know, at something like that, you're just so focused on yourself and your own feelings and your own loss. His students sang at his funeral, and it made it so incredibly touching and wrenching in a way, but extraordinarily beautiful, and such a tribute. And afterwards, you know, as I was standing there by the graveside and people were walking past and consoling him, and I was crying, one of his students, who had been one of the singers, came up to me and said, you know, we loved him too. And I just thought, my God, they did, and all I've been thinking about is my loss, and this was a loss for everybody. And really, I think it was a loss for this whole community and state. He died too young and too early. But anyway, this is a fabulous tribute to him, and I think it's so extraordinary that you're all here, and so many of you hardly knew him, I think. And so really, I think it's a tribute to Don and Jim and Terry and his children, that you know that you're here to help honor him. And I have to say also, I think the choice of a studio to bear his name is so good because it honors him and his work, but it also honors the work of his sons and what he's given to them to carry on and give to others. And it will be a facility that the students here will benefit from and use and send out music to the world and perhaps get this place even more well known for music than it is already. Anyway, thank you all for being here to help us celebrate this wonderful honor, and thank you for listening to my memories. I could go on a long time, but that would be kind of selfish. Does anyone else in my family want to say anything? Cowards. But they're going to sing later, so I guess I can't accuse them of too much. Thank you very much.
And the studio is still in the process of being set up, you know, I mean, they're just really finishing the remodeling here, and so it's not totally there, but it's going to be my joy to participate in making sure that it becomes a totally functional, real, happening studio from which you have to pry students out of large metal bars and chains, because I know that will be the case, and I think that's a beautiful thing. And you know, hopefully we can continue to build a scholarship too. I mean, my brothers Jim and Ed and I thought that would be a cool thing to do with the proceeds of this CD, and you know, it's a drop in the bucket, but it's a drop, you know. It's something, and certainly everybody that is coming to the concert tonight, that the profits from that will go toward the scholarship, and hopefully we can keep coming up with ways to build it and keep it going, keep those vocal students happening. Thank you, Tracy.
Adams State College. Great stories begin here.